Hello class, today we shall start with the second chapter of your book Footprints Without Feet. The chapter is The Thief's Story. This particular story is written by Ruskin Bond, who at present is a living literary figure. He is an Indian author of British descent, and even the Child Council for Child Education, they consider him very important in the they regard his role very important in the growth of children's literature in India. And Ruskin Bond has created a fictional character. The name of the character is Rusty, Rusty. This is quite important. And now about the chapter. This chapter is about two people. It is about a thief and the person who employs him, and how their relationship grows, how the thief in company of this kind man undergoes a change, and what is the main reason for the change. Is it the nature of the man, or is it the things which he give him in return? So this chapter is about self-realization, understanding the importance of word and numbers, a new beginning, and also giving a new chance. Let's start with the chapter. A young boy makes friends with Anil. Anil trusts him completely and employs him. Does the boy betray his trust? So the major theme in this chapter is trust, whether the trust is retained or is it lost. Okay, now come to the three important questions which are given there. Read and find out. Who does I refer to in this story? What is he a fairly successful hand at? And the last one, what does he get from Anil in return for his work? Okay, so these are the three questions we will answer as we progress in the chapter. I was still a thief when I met Anil. So I is who? I is the narrator. I is this boy, the thief. And though only 15, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. Fairly successful hand, experience in stealing. Anil was watching a wrestling match when I approached him. He was about 25, a tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing. Easygoing here refers to the thief thought that maybe he is very simple kind of a man, so he is good for his purpose. Kind and simple enough for my purpose. I hadn't had much luck of late and thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence. He thinks that in the recent past I have not been able to grab hold of any kind of activity, any kind of theft. So maybe this particular person is right for my job and I can approach him. You look a bit of a wrestler yourself, I said. A little flattery helps in making friends. So here he says that if you comment something good about a person, that will make him soft towards you. That will give that person kind of an interest in your conversation. So he starts with a positive note. So do you, he replied, which put me off for a moment because at that time I was rather thin. So Anil, he also compliments back, but maybe he did not, he understands that okay, I am also no wrestler, and he is coming and saying me I am a wrestler. So he also tries to give the same kind of a judgment that okay, you yourself are thin, and I am also a thin person, and telling me that I am a wrestler, so that's not correct. So he also replies in the same manner and says that you are also a wrestler. Well, I said modestly, I do wrestle a bit. Now this thief, expert in lying, is saying that okay, I wrestle a bit. What's your name? This boy Anil, he asks him. Hari Singh, I lied. Now this is again a lie. The first concrete lie. I took a new name every month. That kept me ahead of police and my former employees. If there is a question, why did the thief took a new name every month? So this part is your answer. After this introduction, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers who were grunting, lifting and throwing each other about. I didn't have much to say. Anil walked away. I followed casually. Now wrestling was not his topic. He just went there to talk to Anil because he thought that Anil is suitable for his job of stealing things. So when Anil started talking about wrestling, he was not much interested in that. Hello again, he said. I gave him my most appealing smile. I want to work for you, I said, but I can't pay you. Now, after some time, when Anil started moving, this boy Hari Singh, he followed him, and then Anil said that, okay, hello. And in return, the little boy Hari, the thief, he smiles back and says that I want to work for you. And then Anil says that, but I cannot pay you. I thought that over for a minute. Perhaps I had misjudged my man. I asked, can you feed me? Now, the boy, the thief, he thinks that, okay, I thought that this man is well to do, looks very appealing, very rich maybe. And he says that I cannot pay you, so I think I have made a mistake in understanding or finding my man. But then he says that, okay, if you can feed me, it's fine, because at the end of the day, he steals things. He steals things for what? Maybe for lavish lifestyle and lavish and good food. So he says that if you can feed me, I can stay with you. Now Anil asks, can you cook? I can cook. I lied again. So this is again another lie. So how many lies, concrete lies, has he told him? First was his name, and next is that he can cook. If you can cook, then maybe I can feed you. He says, okay, if you can cook, I will feed you. He took me to his room over the Jumna sweet shop and told me I could sleep on the balcony. But the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible, because Anil gave it to a stray dog and told me to be off. But I just hung around, I stayed around, smiling in my most appealing way, and he couldn't help laughing. So what happens after the food was cooked? It was awful. It was given to the stray dog, and Anil, he told Hari Singh that, okay, you have lied, I don't want to, you go away. But then Hari, he knew that he cannot go anywhere, and he wanted to stay with Anil for his purpose at that time. So this is the first time when he wanted to stay, and here he gives his appealing smile again. So this is why, because he wants to stay. Here Hari Singh wants to stay for his purpose of stealing, and so he gives an appealing smile. Later he patted on the head and said, never mind, he would teach me to cook. He also taught me to write my name and said he would soon teach me to write whole sentences and to add numbers. I was grateful. I knew that once I could write like an educated man, there would be no limit to what I could achieve. Now this particular last line of this paragraph is very important. This is talking about his understanding of the importance of writing and reading, and this is the reason why he even comes back, and why he here at present is excited a little, and he understands that, okay, once I read and write, I can do better things, and maybe I'll not steal anything ahead. It was quite pleasant working for Anil. I made the tea in the morning and then would take my time buying the day's supplies, usually making a profit of about ₹1 a day. I think he knew I made a little money this way, but he did not seem to mind. Anil knew that I am not paying him, so even if this little boy is making some money out of the grocery things, he is buying and making some money out of the change and the leftover money, so it was fine with him. Anil made money by fits and starts. Fits and starts, not at regular intervals. It means that today you get some money, tomorrow maybe you will get nothing. He would borrow 1 week, lend the next. He kept worrying about his next check, but as soon as it arrived, he would go out and celebrate. It seems he wrote for magazines, a queer way to make a living. This particular paragraph is again important. This talks about the nature of Anil, that he was what? Spendthrift. S-P-E-N-D, spendthrift, T-H-R-I-F-T. So what did Anil do? Once he received the money, he used to spend it lavishly on his friends. And when he had no money, he would borrow it from his friends. When he had money and someone else came to borrow, he used to lend them. And then this boy Hari Singh, he finds it very strange that how can someone make a living by writing for magazines or newspapers. It was a strange way of living for him. One evening he came home with a small bundle of notes, saying he had just sold a book to a publisher. At night I saw him tuck the money under the mattress. I had been working for Anil for almost a month, and apart from cheating on the shopping, had not done anything in my line of work. I had every opportunity for doing so. Anil had given me a key to the door, and I could come and go as I pleased. He was the most trusting person I had ever met. So here what happens, Anil has got some money after selling his book to the publisher, and this boy Hari Singh, he notices him keeping it under the mattress, and then he thinks that I was here for a purpose, and for so many days I have just been making some little money which is of no use. So today is the chance I can do this. But then at the same time his mind is moving, and it's questioning. He's questioning himself that can I steal him? Can I rob off Anil? So he's questioning on that. He thinks that he is the most trusting person he has ever met. Next, and that is why it was so difficult to rob him. It's easy to rob a greedy man because he can afford to be robbed, but it's difficult to rob a careless man. Sometimes he doesn't even notice he's been robbed, and that takes all the pleasure out of the work. So this Hari says that a greedy man, it's easy to rob a greedy man because once he's robbed, he can be robbed again because that man is greedy and he wants more and more. So he will be accumulating wealth more and more, and he will try and he will give some reaction of that theft. But a careless man will not even understand that okay, something has been lost, something has been gone from me. So he will not even understand. So the person who takes the thing will for him, stealing, if it is like a game, like for Hari, he'll feel very dissatisfied in taking a thing from a person who will not even who will not even panic after something is lost. Well, it's time I did some real work. I told myself I am out of practice, and if I don't take the money, he will only waste it on his friends. After all, he doesn't even pay me. So this particular thing that he doesn't even pay me, this gives him some edge, this gives him some weight over his stealing activity, and he thinks that okay, even if I don't take the money, he's going to spend it lavishly on his friends, and the money will get over, it will perish soon, and he doesn't even pay me, so it's fine if I will rob him. So this is the first part of this chapter. We will continue with the second.